Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another reaction video, and today we finna react to how black sitcoms were systematically destroyed, Hollywood racism. For my black brothers, because it's Black History Month, so our black brothers, we must unite as one, my black brothers.
Black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back. Yo, I'm black and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blickety black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
I'm just saying though, but anyways, so without further ado, let's get right into this.
The 1980s kicked off a revolution that nobody saw coming. The Cosby Show premiered in 1984 and absolutely shattered what people thought television could be. Here was a successful black family, no stereotypes, no degrading humor, just authentic representation of professional parents raising their kids. Dr. Cliff Huxtable became a cultural icon, and the show proved that the audiences of all backgrounds would tune in for quality storytelling featuring black families. 8 seasons later, the foundation was set for what will become a golden era. A Different World took the baton and ran with it. Tackling college life at a HBCU, the show didn't shy away from heavy topics. Racism, sexism, and classism all got screen time.
No, it's because of how they are.
How are they?
You know.
No, I don't. Tell me.
They have no respect. They don't care about this country at all. All they do is sit on their butt and complain.
And what do they have to complain about? It's because of them and their quotas that I'm not in the Ivy League, where I belong.
My grandfather built this country, man. He fought wars for it. And most places he went wouldn't let him sit down and get a cup of coffee. I can't even catch a cab in New York. You know, it doesn't matter how many degrees I get. All you people see is color. Your grandfather was an immigrant. You're American. My grandfather was born here, Duke. And you people still look at me as just another nigga.
Most importantly, it showed black excellence in higher education, something mainstream television had largely ignored. Viewers finally saw themselves reflected in characters navigating through dorm rooms, relationships, and finding their place in this world. Then the 1990s exploded with creativity. Living Single brought Queen Latifah and assembled a cast that proved black women could carry an entire show without needing white characters as anchors. The brownstone in Brooklyn became as iconic as the apartments in Friends, except they came first and did it with more style. Family Matters introduced Steve Urkel, who became one of the most recognizable characters in television history. Moesha gave Brandy a platform to explore teenage life with depth and humor. The Jamie Foxx Show showcased Hollywood dreams and struggles. Every night of the week, there was something for everyone. These shows weren't just entertaining, they were cultural phenomenons. The characters became part of everyday conversation. Martin Payne's antics, the Fresh Prince swagger, the wisdom dropped on Living Single, these moments transcended the screen. People quoted these shows at school, at work, really everywhere. The casting was impeccable, the writing was sharp, and the chemistry between actors was undeniable. But here's where things get interesting. As the decade closed out, something started happening behind the scenes. Network executives began looking at viewership data differently. They noticed that while black sitcoms pulled massive numbers from black households, the ratings from white households weren't matching up. Instead of seeing this as proof that diverse programming was working exactly as intended, giving underrepresented communities content that spoke to them, networks started viewing it as a problem.
All right, Jamal, holla at you.
Mainstream is just a coded language for white viewers. Never mind that the Cosby Show and the Fresh Prince proved that black sitcoms could achieve crossover success. The industry decided that unless every show appealed equally to all demographics, it wasn't worth the investment. Reality.
That's the problem. That's the problem. That's why Fox sold out. Because once the Fox had the Simpsons, took off, Fox was like, we don't need y'all no more. That's what Fox said. Fox was like, we don't need y'all no more. We got the NFL. We got the Simpsons. What more do y'all need? Like, they came back crawling, though. They came back crawling with the Bernie Mac show. They came back crawling with the Bernie Mac show, for sure. But but once they had like Malcolm in the Middle and fucking Married with Children and The Simpsons, they pretty much was like, yeah, we don't need you anymore. First show to go was the show that pretty much put them on the map, which was fucking In Living Color. In Living Color put them on the map. Then Martin came in, Martin had it turned up on Fox, bro. Shame, bro. They use us, and then when they get to where they get to where they get to, they don't need us no more. It's crazy. They just use us, bro. We just tool they. It's a shame. It's a shame.
Television crashed into the scene like a wrecking ball through quality programming. Shows like The Real World demonstrated that cameras following real people require minimal investment compared to scripted shows. No writer rooms, no actor salaries, no expensive sets, just film people being dramatic and watch the ratings roll in. Networks saw dollar signs and started shifting their entire programming philosophy. Black sitcoms took a disproportionate hit, while white-led sitcoms like Friends and Frasier continued getting renewals and support. Black shows started to get canceled left and right. The excuses varied. Ratings weren't high enough, demographics weren't broad enough, the market was changing, but the pattern was clear. Networks were bailing on black programming. The merger between UPN and the WB in 2006 became the final nail in the coffin for many shows. UPN had been a safe haven for black sitcoms, keeping shows like Girlfriends, One-on-One, and All of Us on air.
That's why UPN will always be goated. That is why UPN will always be goated, bro. To this day. To this day. To this day. UPN will always be goated, bro. Because they held it down.
This day. To this day. To this day.
UPN held it down for all the black sitcoms out there, bro. Before Tyler Perry came in and pretty much took all the pretty much control all the black sitcoms. Before Tyler Perry controlled all the black sitcoms, it was man. Kids today just don't know, man. They was born into the Tyler Perry universe, so it is what it is. But for us that was born in the 90s, we went through the Renaissance, baby. We went through the prime of black television. We talking Fresh Prince, Martin, Living Single, Moesha, The Parkers, In the House, fucking Parenthood, Rock. We had it all. Shit. We had it all. Shout out to the 90s, bro. We had it all, bro. The 2000s was cool too. But it wasn't hitting like the 90s did. The 90s, it was like left and right. Every channel you turned to, it was something for you. Or, you know. But by the 2000s, all we had was UPN because everybody was pretty much giving up on us. The only shows that was succeeding in the 2000s outside of UPN was My Wife and Kids and fucking Bernie Mac show, but look at where they ended up. They ended up getting canceled just like every other show started getting canceled.
Two networks merged to create the CW. Suddenly, all the shows that had been performing well got axed. Girlfriend survived briefly but lost a main cast member and never recovered its footing. Other shows weren't as lucky. They just disappeared. Looking at what replaced these shows make the situation even more frustrating. The CW prioritized shows like Gossip Girl, Supernatural, and a 90210 reboot that was complete garbage. The message was loud and clear. White faces were in, black faces were out. Network executives claimed it was about ratings and demographics, but the shows they canceled were often outperforming the new programs they greenlit. The events of 9/11 changed American culture in countless ways. The entertainment industry became more conservative and more risk-averse. Comedy started feeling inappropriate to some executives. Drama became the default because it was more serious and important. Sitcoms in general took a back seat, but black sitcoms suffered the most severe consequences. When networks did greenlight comedies, they played it safe with familiar formulas and mostly white cast. Shows that started in the early 2000s like The Parkers, One-on-One, The Bernie Mac Show, My Wife and Kids, and Girlfriends was the last of that magic that made black sitcoms so special before it completely went downhill.
Yep.
The mid to late 2000s became a graveyard where black sitcoms died quickly. Networks kept trying to recreate the magic of the 90s and the early 2000s without understanding what made those shows so special in the first place. Cuts, a spinoff from One-on-One that started airing in 2005, was aggressively unfunny despite lasting 2 seasons. Marquise Houston couldn't carry a show, and the jokes on the show never connected. Then Under One Roof came along and somehow managed to be even worse. Flavor Flav trying to act in a scripted sitcom created unintentional comedy because the show was so terrible. They weren't just bad shows, there were insults to the legacy that Martin and Living Single had built. In 2005, Bow Wow was set to star in a sitcom called Bow, which reflected his life at the time. The show centered on a teenage superstar rapper who had just turned 18, trying to navigate adulthood alongside his manager, seeking independence from his mother's control and the pressure of fame that had persisted since he was 13. However, the series was ultimately never picked up for various reasons. Some believe the merger of the UPN and the WB played a role, while others suggested executives hesitated because they were reluctant to try another rapper-themed show after Eve's series encountered delays due to her busy schedule of performances, rehearsals, studio work, interviews, and TV appearances. Additionally,
I recently looked this up and I found out why. Yeah, so it was mainly because of the WB merger. This was going to be on WB, but because of the merger, they pretty much said, nah, we good on this.
Executives also worried that Bow might suffer the same fate as Eve's show. Initially high ratings driven by Bow Wow's star power at the time, but potentially losing viewers over time who only saw him as a rapper, but not as a serious actor to tune into every week. Ultimately, Bow Wow's show never made it to the air. While there were many noticeable failures of black sitcoms in the mid to late 2000s, not all was bleak. Everybody Hates Chris stood out as a rare success that demonstrated quality could still prevail. Chris Rock's semi-autobiographical series about his childhood in Brooklyn during the 1980s offered a fresh perspective on the sitcom format. Terry Crews' portrayal of ultra-frugal father delivered comedic brilliance. The adult Chris narration added depth that most sitcoms never attempted. The show ran for 4 seasons and remained enjoyable today thanks to tight writing and sincere performances. The Game, another popular series on arrival and a spinoff from Girlfriend centered on professional.
The CW version was the best version. You can miss with the BET version. The CW version was the best version of the show.
Football players and their partners. After 3 successful seasons though on the CW, it was canceled because the network wanted to move away from sitcoms entirely. BET later picked it up, giving it new life, but the damage was mostly done, and the show's momentum was significantly impacted going into the other seasons after. In the late 2000s, BET tried filling the gap left by the decline of black sitcoms on major networks. Shows like House of Pain and Meet the Browns kept black sitcoms somewhat alive, but something was missing. The quality didn't match the classics from previous decades. The writing felt hurried, characters less developed, and humor less sharp. Tyler Perry became closely associated with black sitcoms on cable, but his shows divided audiences. Some appreciated any representation, while others criticized reliance on stereotypes and predictable plots.
Yeah, Tyler Perry got some of the most kindergarten, first grade PBS writing I've ever seen, bro. House of Pain is ass.
Meanwhile, ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox continue producing sitcoms, mainly with white leads or cast members. Hits like How I Met Your Mother, The Big Bang Theory, and Modern Family prove that networks still believe in sitcoms, just not in black-centered ones. Bill Cosby openly addressed this problem in interviews, highlighting the absurdity of the situation. Despite black CEOs running top companies and black presidents leading universities, TV refused to reflect this reality. Commercials featured more black faces than programming itself. The networks revealed their true priorities. Diverse representation was not among them. Networks didn't abandon black sitcoms because audiences lost interest. They left because serving black viewers was less profitable than targeting the elusive general audience. In other words, white viewers were the only demographic that mattered. Gray's autonomy is often cited when networks are accused of lacking diversity. They point to the black characters, but a drama with characters of all races behaving badly and sleeping around isn't groundbreaking representation, it's tokenism with a bigger budget. Currently, it's hard to name a black sitcom on ABC, NBC, CBS, or Fox. Seriously, try. Cable and streaming platforms now bear the responsibility that networks abandoned. Blackish and Insecure found audiences, but they are the exception. The era of multiple black sitcoms airing nightly on various networks has shrunk to occasional titles on niche platforms. Some say comedy is too subjective now and today's audience don't understand sitcom humor like past generations. Yet white-led sitcoms continue to be renewed and find success. The industry hasn't stopped making sitcoms, it just stopped making black sitcoms specifically. The gap in quality between classic 90s shows and most 2001s is evident. When BET and others tried filling the void, their content often felt cheap and rushed. Good writing is costly and creating engaging characters take time. What's tragic is that America elected its first president while black sitcoms were disappearing from major networks. The contradiction reveals everything about how representation works in this country. Symbolic progress in politics while actual cultural representation gets systematically dismantled. The networks made their choice and black audiences were forced to accept scraps instead of the feast they enjoyed just a decade earlier. Peace.
Most definitely, my brother. Most definitely, my brother. Ain't did nothing but cook on this one. Ain't did nothing but cook on this one. My brother did nothing but cook on this one. Most definitely.
Message.
I'm saying though, like let's just call it for what it is. Let's just call it for what it is. Y'all don't care about us. They don't care about us. They can make a show for us with the intent of entertaining us, but they don't want to. They made their minds up. They said, nope, no more for y'all. We gave y'all the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s. No more. We're not spending no more money on you guys. Even though shows like fucking The Jeffersons was in like the top 5 for the entirety of his run. It was in the top 5 of shows on television in popularity and viewership. And they just canceled it. A show, even if your show was doing good, they'll still be like, "I get them niggas up out of here." It just goes to show you, bro. It goes to show you. They don't care, bro. They just trying to fill a quota. Once they feel like, oh, we ain't got to fill that quota no more. Get that quota up out here. It's crazy, bro. They try to get rid of us, bro. They try to take us off, bro. We can't have nothing. That's why we got to build our own, man. And we can't keep letting Tyler Perry get a hold of it. We got to stop letting Tyler Perry get a hold of it. We can't keep doing this, my brothers. We can't keep doing this. We have to do better, my brothers. We have to do better. Tyler Perry cannot keep getting his hands on black content.
You can't keep getting away with this. You can't keep getting away with it. He won't.
I'm saying though. But anyway, so let's just go about do it for this one. Most definitely, man. Black sitcoms are most definitely, man. We need more. We need more black sitcoms not made by Tyler Perry that are taken with the time and care to build up characters the right way. Not do a reboot, not do a reimagining of a show that already happened. We don't need it. We already did it with the Fresh Prince. That was cool. That was fine. Let's make something new now. I already know they're trying to do a new different world recasting, reimagination. But still though, it'd be nice if we could get something new for once. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to keep attempting to go back at shows that already happened or existed and try to reimagine them to make them more drama filled. So that way we can get more viewership. Nah, we don't need to do that. Let's make something new. Let's build new actors. Let's build new stars. That's the problem. We're not building stars no more. We're not building good actors no more. It's getting tougher and tougher, man. All we want is our just due, man. That's all we want is our just due, man. When we gonna have our just due, man? We're gonna have something for us. We had it, they took it away. It is what it is, though. But anyways, though, I'll see you on the next video. Till then, deuces.